What is up, everybody? It's Cobes here, and today I'm back with a South Park Phone Destroyer video. In today's video, we are going to be deciding what are the top 10 best mystical cards. We already did every other theme, so this is going to be the last video of this series. I hope you guys did enjoy. Make sure to tell me what you think the best mystical cards are. I honestly think this is probably the worst theme out there. I really do. Even though some of the top cards are some of the best in the game, I still think the bottom ones are absolutely dog shit. So I think the first card that didn't make the cut is Hercules Clyde. Hercules Clyde is a pretty good card if you didn't know what he did. Warcry runs and hits the nearest enemy with a magical force that stops their charge. I think Dwarf King Clyde is miles ahead of this guy. And until just recently, you were able to start actually getting these cards and upgrading him. So I don't think this card is all that good. Prophet Dougie, do I have to explain? Hermes Kenny was one of those cards I think people thought, wow, this is so amazing. He hits so quickly. But then they realize, there's so many other cards out there that are better. His Death Wish isn't all that great. If he had some sort of ability, I think he could be good, and I think he should have some sort of charged ability of some sort, and then this card would be amazing. But with his Death Wish, it just makes him horrible. I mean, do I really have to explain myself on this one, guys? Pope Timmy is a fun card, but he's just not that great. So this is a card that may be somewhat controversial. I think Witch Doctor Token couldn't make this list. I love this card. I think it could be a way better card than it is. So his charge drains health from all nearby enemies. He can kill a lot of different enemies and get himself back up to full health. But the problem is his charge takes so fucking long. There's almost no way you're going to get 2 charges off, which I mean for most troops you're not going to be able to, but for this one you might not even get that first charge off. If you don't get the first charge off, he was basically a useless drop. Next we have Energy Staff, which is a card that I wish we could have used, but in the beginning it was way too overpowered and then it got nerfed into the ground. So I just don't feel like this one can be used. Maybe they did it so you know, like if only Mystical could use it, then it might be a little bit unfair. And then everyone would be using Mystical for Energy Staff. So I'm glad this card isn't as powerful as it once was, but it kind of sucks that it's unusable. So I think I don't really need to explain myself. Powerbind and Purify after the update, it definitely killed these cards. I think they're still both usable, but I just don't think I would put them in my deck if I were using Mystical. Unholy Combustion is a pretty nice card. It kills an enemy, deals damage to its surrounding enemies. That sounds good, but look at that damage, guys. At level 3, 18 damage to the surrounding units. That's not really much at all, and it's 5 energy as well. So it's a little bit better than Transmogrify, I would say easily. It's a lot better actually, but I just don't think a 5 energy costing card is really worth it unless you're going against a Grand Wizard card. Now let's get into the top 10. I would say the 10th best card. The Master Ninjew is an excellent card. His Warcry, he gives 35 plus attack to all other allies. So, I mean, this can definitely be useful if you use it with like a Robin Tweak and a Terrence. I've seen that as a great combination. You give that health boost plus the attack boost to Terrence. Imagine you using a hyper. No, you can't use a hyperdrive. Just imagine that though. We can imagine. We can sit back and imagine. But this guy definitely can boost up your team and help you win some pushes. But I feel like he's just not all that great because Mystical is a slower paced deck. If you use this with a faster paced deck, it can definitely be useful, more useful than if you're just using it to sit back and play defense. In my opinion, that's how I would use it. So at our number 9 spot, I have to give it to the legendary Medusa Bebe. I think she's a great card, but personally I don't like snipers so much, and you probably didn't see many snipers on any of my top 10 lists. But Medusa Bebe, I had to give it to her. I think she's one of the best legendaries, but she's number 9 on my list for mystical cards only. So that kind of goes to show you that I don't have much hope for any of the legendary cards except for Mecha Timmy and Stand of Many Moons, really, who made it into the top 5. I think both of them did. So Medusa Bebe, when she kills an enemy, it turns them into a snake, which can be which that snake can then deal poison damage, a little bit of poison damage to any enemy it hits. But I guess it's a little bit annoying. but still it's not too difficult to deal with, and I'm not like completely scared to go against it. Next we have Choirboy Butters. His Death Wish gives you a little extra energy. So basically, his Death Wish is going to give you about 1 energy. I think it does give you 1 energy. So it's basically a 1 energy costing card. So why not use this one, especially since he's not that bad. And I have him at level 3, so I'm assuming some of you do as well. I'm getting there. I'm getting to level 4. That'd be awesome to get him up there. But I see people using this card just because he's super low energy, and then his Death Wish is pretty good as well. But I don't think he's that great of a card. I think you just place him because he's 1 energy. Next we have Cupid Cartman. Cupid Cartman is a great card, I think. He doesn't compare to Terrence, and I wouldn't use him in place of Terrence. But for a flying troop, I feel like flying troops are almost a must-use in almost any scenario. So I think Cupid Cartman is a must-use. If you can place him behind something, he's going to be great. But he usually flies in front of whatever troops you place him in or behind. So especially with Mystical, if you're dropping a Zen Cartman, a Friar Jimmy, and an Angel Wendy, he's going to be fucking soaring ahead of all those, and he's going to start getting hit by the tower. But he will do some decent damage. This might be controversial, but I still think Regeneration is a pretty good card. I don't personally use Mystical, but I still see people running Regeneration. It's not as good as it was, and you can tell it's not as good, but it's still annoying, and it can be difficult to deal with if you don't have any sort of energy to deal with the surrounding cards. Next, we have the upgraded Regeneration, I would say. We have Hallelujah at 4 energy. It heals all allies. Look at that health boost, though. If you got this up to level 5, I don't know exactly how much that would be. It would be over 600 health to all allies. That would be great for a Zen Cartman. Imagine boosting your Zen Cartman up 600 health. I mean, if you had some troops down as well, it's kind of like a surprising card. You don't really expect a Hallelujah. Let's say you've done a ton of damage to all the surrounding troops. And you're like, fuck it, I'm just going to allow my tower to do some damage. I'll maybe drop 1 assassin on an Angel Wendy or something, kill her, and then my tower can deal with the rest. But then they drop that Hallelujah. They're all back up to full health. It's like, fucking hell. Or if one troop is very low health, he's hitting your tower, you think he's about to die, but then the Hallelujah comes out of nowhere and he ends up taking out your tower. I've seen both cases many times. It's annoying, but it's a good card. For our number 4 spot, I feel like the top 4 are obvious picks. We have Angel Wendy. Angel Wendy is a must-use. She's a must-use alongside the other cards I'm about to mention, but she heals 132 HP to 3 closest allies. This is so effective if you have a Zen Cartman, Friar Jimmy, Poseidon Stan, all those troops down. It's just like, fucking hell, die, you bitch. Just die, Angel Wendy. Get the hell out of this game, please. For our number 3 spot, we may have for our number 3 spot, you might not have expected this so high up on the list, but I think Poseidon Stan is a great card. So his charge slows all enemies for 7 seconds. I could say that this card may even be as good as Poseidon Stan. It slows the enemies for 7 seconds. That's longer than, or not, it's better than Stan the Great. I'm sorry. Do you guys think so? I don't know for sure. I wouldn't go out there saying, yes, Poseidon Stan is definitely better, but I think he competes with him, and try to use him. Try to use him in your mystical deck. But he slows all enemies for 7 seconds. This is another must deal with card. I think Zen Cartman is one of the best mystical cards out there, and he's another must use in mystical. If you're running mystical and you don't have Zen Cartman, what are you doing with, like, I don't think I've ever seen a mystical player not use Zen Cartman. He's a must use tank. He's such a great card, and I hate going against him. He's probably the troop that's most annoying to me. When I see him, I'm like, fuck me. Oh god, this is going to be a whole thing that I have to deal with. I have to move around my schedule just to deal with this fucking Zen card. For the best card in Mystical, I would have to give it to Friar Jimmy. Friar Jimmy, his aura regenerates health of all nearby enemies. So 6 HP per second at level 4, and at level 5 it's probably like 7. I don't know, maybe 8 at level 5 maxed. maybe 8 HP per second. At level 6, I've seen multiple times. I think it might be even 10 or 9, maybe. I don't know exactly. Leave the comments down below. I didn't do my research. Not all my research, at least. But this card is a must-use. He's so good. He can heal up himself and then anyone around him. It's annoying. He can also heal up the tower. I know I hate mystical. I hate fantasy. Those are two I hate going against. Maybe it's because I'm I'm a sci-fi adventure player, but tell me your list, guys. Did you disagree completely with my list? I hope you did. I hope I pissed you off as well. You probably didn't disagree on that many things. But thanks, guys, for watching. I'll see you guys later. Bye-bye.